Hey guys, and welcome back to ScarletSprites and the countdown. It's been a little slow, but I'm continuing to chip away here by adding another Neo Geo MVS cart to the collection. This time it's the King of Fighters 2000. Not a huge deviation from the last video where I added 2002, but this one was on the list and I got it relatively cheap, which is always the goal. I will say, based on a little bit of playing time, I definitely like 2002 a little bit better than this one. And I think a lot of people out there would probably agree with that comment. 2000 though was not only one of the remaining carts missing from my Neo Geo MVS set, it was also the last of the King of Fighters games that I needed. So I can finally put that set within the set to bed, which is nice. The case for this one is a clear translucent, so we already have a good look at the boards, but I'm going to go ahead and open this one up anyways to get some clear pics for comparison to mvsscans.com, which you should always do if you're interested in testing the authenticity of your cartridge. The cart also has a nice holographic label on it, and those are a lot more forgiving as far as creasing goes when you're opening these up. Taking a look at the boards and comparing things here, everything seems to check out nicely. No EEPROMs or suspect off-brand chips, everything checks out and looks pretty authentic. And while I have this open, I'll take time to clean the connector pins like I always do. My go-to cleaner here, Deoxit. This is really good stuff to have on hand for polishing pins, and it actually promotes connectivity. I use a little of it on some Q-tips to remove whatever gunk is built up on the pins before sticking games into my nice and clean consoleized MVS or arcade machine. I definitely recommend grabbing some of this for your Neo carts or any games really. You can see how filthy this was by the used Q-tips here in this shot, and you don't want that going inside of your otherwise clean and functioning hardware. Alright, one more thing for this game while I have it open. You'll notice the shell is pretty scratched up and looking a little rough. I don't know how well this is going to turn out, but I'm going to go ahead and try and tidy it up a bit with the Novus plastic polish solutions. Some of you may recall I mentioned using these on the CPS2 case I refinished, and it worked out pretty well. Now this is a little counterintuitive, but Novus tells you to use number 1 on the item first to clean it up, which is what I'll start with. And then it tells you to jump to the number 3 solution, which is supposed to eliminate your heavier and deeper scratching. Once that's done, I'll go back to more number 1 to clean and remove all of the number 3 that I just used for the heavy scratching, and then move on to number 2 to remove the finer scratches that still remain. A tip from Novus themselves: make sure you switch your rag up after using the number 3 because you don't want the more abrasive solution mixing back in with the number 2. Once finished with the number 2, you can go back to the number 1 yet again to give it a final cleaning. This is why I said it's a little counterintuitive, since you go 1, 3, 1, 2, and then 1 again. So now that that's done, we can take a look and see if it's any better, and I don't know, maybe marginally so. I just thought this would be a good tip to show again. Results are going to vary from cartridge to cartridge. I may actually have an easier time comparing the before and after photos while editing, so it's a little tough for me to judge in real time right now. Just like the Deoxit though, I use this stuff to clean up ragged looking carts from any system. You're just going to want to be cautious of labels and things like that when you're using it. And that is it for the King of Fighters 2000 addition to the MVS collection. I'm down to needing just 4 titles now to finish off a complete MVS set: Breakers, Fatal Fury Special, Real Bout Fatal Fury, and The Last Blade remain. I think this is very doable, although my timeline of completing this in 2019 may have been ambitious. I think that this is still a very achievable goal in the next few months. It's obviously just going to come down to availability and price, as I'm not interested in overpaying simply to just complete the collection. There's just really no rush at this stage for me. Finally, before heading out today, I'd like to thank Anthony Durso for not only being a longtime subscriber and commenter, but he was also kind enough to send over this awesome Neo Geo Land magnet to me featuring G-Mantle. It's a really cool and colorful little 3D magnet. Very kind of you, Anthony. Thanks so much for this. And that's it for today, everyone. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you all next time. Later, guys.